Hello, hello, welcome. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Welcome back to one. This is a program that normally start at 7 p.m. Okay, due to technical issues, and we have to start this time. We apologize.
Apologize.
Okay. We have an intriguing topic, which I know that most of you are aware, and we're going to talk about relationship anxiety. Relationship anxiety. It's all about mental wellness matters. Mental wellness. Okay, so as normal, normally the way we do a podcast. Once we start that, have a number on the screen that someone have to call. The number is on the screen now to join the program, which is +447449823876. That's the number to join the program. Okay, and then just give us a minute. We're gonna call you guys in to join us straight to the program. Okay, so relationship anxiety. When you talk about individual romantic situations, a lot of people, they have this anxiety that makes them to be afraid of getting into a relationship. Some of them that already are in the relationship already, most times they have
Worries
and all that, which they don't know how it started, what really bring that anxiety, what all of that. Okay, and this evening we'll have to going to look at the causes. We looked at the symptoms. Even most importantly, we just have to look at the effective coping strategies, how to cope when they have this anxiety, when you're experiencing anxiety, when you maybe like trying to overcome this anxiety and all that. So we're going to go through that this evening. Okay, so guys, just we'll have a lot of things to discuss this evening. Okay, all right. The issue is this: sometimes you ask on someone, maybe you're gonna ask. Most times people like watching us. Maybe they saw the flyer, they saw the post and all that. They be thinking, what is it? What are you talking about? Relationship anxiety. What did this mean? You understand? I don't know. Do you?
Anxiety on its
what do you think
own
about
is about worry.
relationship anxiety?
So, relationship anxiety is that feeling you have. Probably if you've gone through several bad experiences in the past. I mean, relationship anxiety isn't really an issue for someone that is in their first relationship. Like, when is your first ever live relationship? So you don't really feel that. That's why people have their best love stories when they are still maturing, because they don't really know what life is, they don't really know what love is. But the moment you've had that first experience of heartbreak, so the moment you enter a new relationship, so you start getting worried. Is this relationship going to last? Is this person for real? Is this relationship, when is it going to come to an end? And if that's not controlled, that can actually lead to the end of the relationship. So anxiety, like having that feeling, is this too good to be true? Is this person saying the truth when they tell me that they love me? Is this person cheating? Probably if you've had that history in the past, maybe the person isn't even cheating or doing anything extraordinary, but because you've had that experience in the past, so that's where the anxiety thing comes from.
So most times, maybe if someone that has that feeling of
Definitely,
feeling of
yeah.
abandonment, maybe they've been abandoned, or maybe sometimes they
Yeah,
have
the
that
bad experience in
bad
the
experience
past,
in the
yeah.
past. Okay, then they are afraid of the future,
Yeah.
and then
And sometimes, yeah, that thing could determine your action. Like when you're feeling that worried, when you have that feeling inside you, yeah, sometimes you want to pick up the phone. Yeah, is this person hasn't replied my messages? They're probably cheating or something. Because you have that worry, so your brain begins to form this. Your brain begins to tell you different things. So that worry, when it's not controlled, it could get things out of hand.
So what I try to understand is this, based on what you're saying about that, relationship anxiety, based on experiences that they had already before
In the past, yeah.
maybe trauma that they had,
Cheating.
bad experiences that they had before, based on maybe their boyfriend or girlfriend, like what you say, cheated on them, or childhood trauma as well. Can lead to that, isn't it? When you're having that
But
experience or
the
something like
thing
that,
is that with relationship anxiety, if you've not had a romantic relationship in the past, it just wouldn't come. A girl that was abused when she was growing up, or a girl that never had her dad in her life, doesn't know what it is to be hurt by a man that she loves romantically. So until you've been hurt by someone you love romantically, you cannot have relationship anxiety. I mean, the girl could have some form of abandonment issues, but that's not relationship anxiety.
Okay, what I said about childhood trauma, your dad might have left your mom, and he wasn't there for you guys. And based on how some women, they normally sometimes they start talking, telling the kids about the father, how he left them, blah blah blah, abandoned them, and all that. So some of the girls, because of how their mom suffered to raise them, what all the things
The
that the
thing
mom
about
do that. So
relationship
because of that, you see that
anxiety,
when it gets to relationship, when they see
no,
someone,
the only
they
thing
got
they
that
can do,
anxiety.
no, the only thing they can do is that they could disrespect the man, or have this secret resentment against the man, or have this defense. They've seen what their dad did to their mom, so they have this secret defense coping mechanism, but that's not relationship anxiety.
They're afraid of being abandoned. Maybe this guy is gonna leave and fly.
Now, until you've experienced it, until you've loved someone in a romantic way and had your heart broken, you cannot really have a real relationship anxiety. We're talking about, like we have other types of relationships, have family relationships, or have work relationships. So like work relationship anxiety, but this evening we're talking about romantic relationship anxiety.
Romantic relationship anxiety. Okay, when you're talking about romantic relationship,
because the thing is, like, look at it this. The thing is that, I mean, until you've been in love and known what it is to feel in love with someone, is not something you can observe. You have to actually experience it to know how it feels. So with relationship anxiety, you must have been in a romantic relationship in the past. So like, for example, a girl that went into a relationship as a virgin, and she was naive, so she loved with all her heart. But at the moment the guy lets her down and gets her heart broken, she becomes protective, and then the moment she goes into another relationship, she gets this anxiety once in a while, or even a regular thing.
So what you're saying now, the causes of this
usually, if you've been in a romantic relationship in the past, that is the root cause of,
that's the past experience and all that.
But you have to have had a romantic relationship in the past.
Must have fallen in love so hard.
You must have actually had the feeling of being in love with a person.
Then the person may be disappointed.
It can't be what, like, there are certain things in life that you actually have to experience. It's just like death. You actually have to die to know what it feels to die. Someone can't really explain and tell you what it feels to die and you would grasp it. You actually have to die to know what it feels like to die. So with relationships, you actually have to be in a relationship to know how it feels. And until your heart has been broken in the past, you wouldn't really have an anxiety. Because at the moment your heart has been broken apart, you have trust issues, you have this defense mechanisms that you develop over time.
Okay, so that's what we call attachment styles. People that are prone to having this attachment, they're always, like, for example, they're always feeling insecure in a relationship, and once they are into that, because they're always feeling they become anxious.
If someone is insecure, you cannot feel insecure unless someone or something is making you feel insecure. Either yourself, you're not comfortable with the way you look, or insecure in a relationship, you don't really feel you're enough for the person you're dating.
Yeah, that's you have that attachment style. They're always in because they're insecure.
So they kind of feel
attached to someone. and then be afraid.
Yeah, they're kind
Now
of
you get
afraid
to
that the
having
person is
that
probably going to leave them for someone else.
avoidant
Yeah.
attachment. Yeah, something like that. Having that. Okay. Or what about low self-esteem? Does it even
Yes.
affect
Yeah.
when you
Low
have someone
self-esteem.
when someone have low
And
self-esteem? Is that affect as well?
you
Isn't
know
it?
when someone feels insecure. Yeah, insecure, feeling insecure. A feeling of insecure is a feeling of you're not enough. This girl is probably too beautiful for you, or this guy is probably way, way, way out of your league. So that's where the low self-esteem and insecurity comes from.
Yeah. But yeah. Because when you when you meet
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
someone, you meet someone that probably sometimes you can hear that some ladies, beautiful ladies,
Mm-hmm.
they always say that what is wrong with some men, they don't like to approach them. Because do you understand? Now,
Yeah,
if you
because
see
they
most
feel
of
the
the
guy is
yeah,
probably
most of the beautiful ladies, some of them you see that some of them are
90%.
yeah, they are
90%, yeah.
they are
All the
single.
weddings every weekend is ugly women.
They are single.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean? As they are single, what makes them single? Because most of the guys, some of them, they are feeling like don't have that so low self-esteem because they're feeling
And the
that
thing
the girls
is,
are way above their league and all
so
that. So they don't relate to them.
on my way to the on my way to this venue this evening, I met this guy that I've seen on TV a couple of times. He's a celebrity medical doctor. I've seen him on a lot of TV shows, but then I noticed that no one actually noticed him. Yeah, no one actually gave two F's of who he was, but he's a celebrity. But then the thing I noticed is that sometimes the reason people don't really approach these public figures is because sometimes you feel you're not enough, you feel inadequate. So when you feel inadequate, that's what leads to the low self-esteem. And sometimes the men feel that all the beautiful girls are taken.
That's
So
what I'm saying.
yeah, and is the reason why the beautiful girls end up with the ugly guys is that sometimes the ugly guys know they're ugly, they've got nothing to lose, and they approach the beautiful girls.
No, not really. Not really. It's
You
not
you
something
you
like that.
rarely find a wedding picture or a wedding event that shows a beautiful girl and a handsome guy. It's usually a beautiful girl and an ugly guy, or a
No,
handsome
that's a no,
guy
no, no.
and an ugly woman.
Not really. So
Probably the guy wants a girl he can control, or a girl
no.
that is less stress or
most,
less
not
work.
most times it's not really like that. It's just based on at least
Compatibility,
compatibility,
yeah,
how they
yeah. But 80
comfortable, and
percent
other
of the
some
time,
guys they believe, some of them they feel that those the
way
one
out of the
average,
league, yeah.
yeah, average girls, they are easy for them to like to handle. They don't have
Manipulate, yeah.
no that they don't have much competition when
Mm.
it comes to that. Those one's gonna listen to them and they can stay with them and all that. You know what I mean? So compared to the beautiful, some girls that you can say that they're beautiful and within them they have confidence in themselves. So some guy is gonna be feeling the same way, insecure, and some of
Yeah,
them,
that's
if you cannot,
insecurity, yeah.
if they cannot handle their emotions, if they don't like work on themselves proper, you see that they all the time they are worried, and that's when they start having this anxiety, relationship anxiety. When she's going out there, their
Yeah,
mind is
and
not
especially if the woman is sexy,
yeah,
yeah.
that's on their mind
Who
is not
else
at
is
rest.
looking at, yeah.
Their mind is not at rest. If she's not coming, she's not home when she's supposed to come back, it's a worry. So they start having that anxiety all the time. So understand. So that's a problem. You know what I mean? So, but let's just invite some of our viewers. Okay, guys, the line is open. When you're talking about relationship anxiety, if you know what it is, and then if you have experienced it, if you maybe you want to know much about it, you can ask the question and all that. We can just talk about. Okay, the line is open now. The line is free. Call one on now on +44 744 982 3876. Call now. The line is free. Okay. We are discussing. We are talking about relationship anxiety, the coping mechanisms. We're talking about the symptoms and all that. Okay. So if you are just joining us, all right, this is one. This is the podcast we normally do every Friday 7 p.m. Okay. So like I said, the line is open now. You can call, ask your question, or can just send a message on the comment section. We read them out once it's related to what we are discussing this evening. Okay. On that note, I just want to ask you something. Okay. When you talk about relationship anxiety, someone, we already like explain what it is. All right, how can someone know what are the symptoms, what are the things you can be like, look into? You say to yourself, yeah, I think this person has anxiety, he has a relationship anxiety. It's not really like
Being a little bit
yeah,
clingy.
he doesn't want
Like
to
when a
go into a
person is
relationship, he has that anxiety.
yeah, when you're one of the signs that shows that someone has a little bit of anxiety is that when they're slightly being a bit too clingy.
Mm.
Yeah, they're being slightly being overprotective. So they have that worry that this person is going to go, or they start accusing you of what you've not done.
They-
Yeah,
they're
that
accusing you, they
yeah,
keep
there's
on
that.
every time
That's
accusing you.
yeah, that's acts of insecurity. That's yeah, they are projecting what they're feeling on you.
The anxiety are forcing them, like all
Yeah,
the
and also
like
it
to.
could get them to withdraw as well. Like when they feel they're not good enough, they could just withdraw and keep to themselves. And then if the person they're dating isn't understanding, that could lead to the end of the relationship. And then they go into sometimes, I mean, when people have this relationship anxiety pattern, it just ends up being an experience that is non-stop. So they go in with a new person and they, for some reason, feel that what happened in the past is going to happen again. So they're
Mm.
being overprotective,
Okay.
and they're being some. In some cases, they keep to themselves, or in some cases, they project their worries on you, probably accuse you of what you didn't do, especially if they've been cheated in the past.
So they feeling, sometimes they feel jealous without
Yeah,
any
honestly,
cause.
without just and especially if they just don't feel this has to do with the men sometimes. When a man feels that a girl is too way out of his league, one of the things the man would do is to try to make you feel less of yourself. They try to talk down on you,
Mm.
and they try to attack your self-esteem. The moment they've succeeded in attacking that, you become a shadow of your own self. You lose who you are. So when someone has a relationship anxiety, they just don't feel secure in themselves, especially if they married a very beautiful person or a girl that is probably more successful than they are.
So they
They
feel.
yeah, they just have this anxiety that the girl probably is going to meet someone else and the girl is going to leave. So the first thing they do is to get the girl to feel less of themselves. Now, for women to men, the first thing the woman would do is to always attack a man of cheating, always go to his phones and get the man uncomfortable.
They're just
Yeah, oh,
looking.
yeah,
They're just looking for
looking for
ways just to like start an
yeah,
argument or
ways to
start
get fight,
fight,
yeah,
something like that. And
and then they would be the first to apologize the moment
apologize.
the fight is
And when
over.
you're trying to reassure them,
Yeah, it
telling them
just
that's not
doesn't.
happening, it
Yeah,
doesn't work,
no,
doesn't it?
they're just being damaged. Yeah,
They just want to like
and if you look
look
at that
into it.
person, like a couple of experiences, they've been hurt in the past, and they just didn't heal before going into a new one.
Okay, all right, but because there's something that you have to. I just want to find out. Okay, because in most cases, when you're looking at anxiety, not everyone shows anxiety, but they still have that
Hmm.
as shows in it.
I
Okay,
think
so
everyone has
not
a
everyone they
little
show that.
of
Most times in a
anxiety. Yeah.
relationship, some people they know how to handle it. What I mean by they know how to cover that.
Yeah,
They
they know
just
how
want to
to
like
like deal with it.
they have know how to deal with it. They inside of them they just want to like suppress it,
Hmm.
but they have this anxiety, and the only way they normally, if you are someone that if you're observant, if you are someone that like what is really happening, paying attention to your relationship, then you might notice one or two behaviors that will say to you, you are not the problem. Because in most cases, like what you said, they go into your phone. Most cases, they want to like know where you are. Some even get to the extent of maybe
Trunking you.
tracking your phone, putting stuff in your car where you going to just know where you are. If you call them on the phone and when you're coming back,
So I
you're
saw
not back. They just want to know
I saw
everything
this
about that.
video on Instagram where a guy was just in his first healthy relationship after several relationships. So the girl was the girl told him and said, "I'm going to be at work and I would return in the evening." So the first response the guy gave her was, "If you want to cheat, just better say it now," because he's been stabbed so many times in the back. So and he's in a relationship now, and he automatically felt that the girl was going to cheat simply because the girl told him that he was going to be away for a period of time. So automatically he thought that the
because
girl
of
had
the
just
past
gonna,
experiences that
yeah,
he
past
had.
experience,
So
yeah.
it's difficult for him to trust someone.
Yeah. So
And
yeah, that anxiety.
it's a big anxiety that people, most times they don't know that it's anxiety that they have. Okay, they don't know that they have this, because you know what, most things that happens to people, especially you can see that people that have mental issues, mental health issues, they don't say, they don't accept that
No.
they don't accept that they have issues. Do you understand what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
most times when people like have anxiety in their relationship, they have anxiety within them. They don't know that they have this anxiety. It's like this topic that we discussed about trauma. When you have trauma, most times they don't know that they have trauma. I get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And once you have that anxiety, because if you look at anxiety, it's almost closer to trauma. I get what I'm saying? Because when you don't treat it properly, when you don't know that that's what you have, I get the meaning. You
Mm-hmm.
don't know that that's what you have. What are you going to do? You can't know how to cope. You don't know how to treat it. You don't know how to handle yourself. You
Yeah,
don't
and
know
some
what to
people
the
just
heal.
have
I
it
understand.
like,
They don't know that
mm-hmm.
they have relationship anxiety, and that's was the reason why, when this thing we're discussing this evening, some people not even like, when you're watching this, you say to yourself, "Oh, this is what is happening to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an anxiety." I understand. I
Yeah.
experienced one or two things. This is what is happening to me. That, oh gosh, that's the reason why when my boyfriend or my girlfriend is going out there, I don't feel secured. I don't feel calm. I always thinking that maybe they're going out to meet someone else. They're going to cheat on us, or they're going to
Or
come. You
feeling
understand
not
that you're
good
feeling not,
enough. Yeah.
good enough. Maybe you're feeling that you are not in the same league with this person. That you have to like prove yourself over and over again for you like to for the person to accept you.
Mm-hmm.
All those kind of things. You have that low self-esteem. You have like you need that reassurance. You need all of those things just for you to be in that relationship. All of this is just anxiety. And if you are not calm, if you don't know how to treat it, if you
Definitely
don't
gonna
heal properly,
kill the
it's
relationship.
gonna kill
Yeah.
the relationship. It's going to affect everyone. It's gonna affect your partner so much, and that
And
is the
some men
problem.
cheat as
Mm,
well as a way of coping with anxiety.
mhm.
Yeah, sometimes some men actually use it as a way to feed their ego when they just for some reason have some form of relationship anxiety. So they tell themselves, I mean, I rather not keep all my eggs in one basket. So they have. I saw this post on Instagram where one guy was advising ladies to always have a side plan B in when it comes to relationships. So they should always have another person they can. But then the thing is, if you're in a relationship where you have a plan B,
Mm.
it means you won't really
You're not committed.
for yeah, you're not vulnerable in the love, and the beauty of love is vulnerability.
Mhm.
Yeah, it means you're not there. You're half.
That's what I'm saying. You're not committed. You don't
Yeah,
give 110% normally. You're not
yeah,
supposed
you're
to,
just
because in a
yeah,
relationship, 100 is not enough. You have to put in 110%.
yeah,
You
and
understand? So
when you have a plan B, you don't even give up to 30% in the relationship. Yeah.
because there's no your mind, your attention, everything is divided.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? And
And you
it
don't,
makes
you
you,
just like when you have that thing at the back of your mind that the moment this person leaves, like you've got someone else. So you just for some reason don't really give two F's.
you don't, because at the end of the day, what the only thing you'll be seeing is just the negative aspect,
Yeah.
because
And yeah,
you're
you just you have this wall that is built to protect your heart, and a lot of people are in that position.
okay. All right, guys. Yeah, like I said, the line is open. You can just you to call, or you put it in the comment section. Just want to know what is we're talking about relationship anxiety. How can you cope with relationship anxiety? The coping strategies, even the management technique, how you can manage it. Okay, because when you notice that your partner having anxiety is a worry,
Mm-hmm.
because it's definitely going to
Yeah,
affect you.
it is. You would be the first person that would be affected.
It's going to
Yeah.
affect you, because the trust is not going to be there. They are always worried. They always are at your back. They keep on like tracking. That's a big issue. Do you understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go, there's this channel on TikTok. What this guy talks about is just how to like get your woman, how to get your women whenever he's going. The tracking. They will give you the techniques that you have to follow to track this person, all the apps, all the uh, techniques, everything. How to track your girlfriend wherever she's going.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at that, you see that that's unhealthy relationship.
Yeah, The moment you started doing all of that, it just means there is no trust again in the relationship.
It's
Yeah,
unhealthy. It's not even about trust. You yourself, you're really like it's a work.
yeah, it's a lot of
That's a
work.
lot of job.
Yeah,
It's
there's a lot of
work.
pressure on your mental
You know
health.
what I mean? You can't focus in whatever you're doing. Whenever she's out there, you're gone. I get to even
Mhm.
at workplace, you cannot concentrate because of what? Because of you're tracking someone, want to know where they are 24/7 and all that. That's your I don't know. Is very bad behavior. That is when you are doing that is a very very bad on head relationship. And when I was going through that the app or the platform, I was like saying to myself, what is really happening? What is going on? Because there's no need doing all that just to see a woman where she's going and all that. Doesn't make sense. And, good evening, welcome.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Evening.
Yeah,
Thank God I meet up because I was rushing.
it's okay.
So I love the topic which you are taking this evening. So
Yeah,
I want to make my own contribution.
yeah. What
Yeah,
we're
welcome.
talking
Yeah.
about relationship anxiety.
Yeah, when you talk of a relationship, in a relationship, it goes with trust. And when you bring that anxiety, anxiety and fear,
Mm-hmm.
they are somehow connected.
Definitely.
Yeah. Because whenever you talk of anxiety in a relationship, that means that person is not comfortable in that relationship. But relationship is meant to be. When you choose your partner, that means you know the in and out, you know that person, so that you can be relaxed. Understand?
Yeah.
But in a relationship, when there is anxiety, that means you don't know the person.
Yeah.
So, and such people that fall such victim in a relationship, and whenever you want to manage a relationship, some desperados in two parties, whenever you are eager, there are some you want to marry, you want to get married, you want to answer that name, or you want to be in a relationship, you want to have a relation, a person that you can call your friend or your boyfriend. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
So when you are loved or your partner doesn't regard you,
Mm.
doesn't have that love or sense of belonging in relation with you,
Mm-hmm.
and you say you want to manage that person, it doesn't manage relationship or it doesn't manage marriage.
Mm.
Understand?
Okay.
Let me bring it down. That girl, that singer, personality of a
Yeah,
woman.
that's the gospel singer. Yeah.
Yeah, in her marriage, in her relationship,
Yeah.
she has that anxiety in that relationship. Whenever she sees her husband,
Yeah.
she's not comfortable because of what she's passing through or what she's experiencing. Because his husband is bullying her, flogging her, doing a lot of things for her, which is not supposed to be. And but she said, if I come out on that relationship, what will people say? What will people say? Sometimes when you look at those things, on whose detriment?
Yeah, and people moved on within 24 hours after she died.
Yeah. See, and that woman now, she's late, but that husband, by now, she'll get another person that he loves and he will enjoy with the money of both men. So in a relationship, what I'm trying to say, how to manage the relationship or how to manage that anxiety in a relationship, whenever you look at your boss or your partner, that person is not the right person for you. Either you give a break or you step down.
So what are you trying to say is that once you're in a relationship and you are always afraid of what the other person will do, it gives you
Yeah.
that you don't have that confidence of going out. You don't know when if you have any activity outside there, you can't go because you're afraid. You might come back.
Yeah.
There will be a physical beating, something
Mm-hmm.
like that, domestic abuse, and all that. You
Yeah.
bring something to that, and the person will have that
Yeah,
anxiety and
something
all that.
like that. Yeah, there are some men or some equally women, they are behaving like an animal. Could you believe that somebody you call your partner, your friend, maybe she goes out and she didn't take permission or she didn't inform you mistakenly, you come back late, the husband will start beating him or his friend will start beating him. You have many cases. One of my friends, his fiance just gave her injuries, bruises, because of one thing or the other. So, such case, would the girl give another chance for another man?
No.
She will not. So I thank God this topic you people just brought. If some people will listen to it and know how to manage it, understand? Relationship is just understanding. In that understanding, it's coming with maturity. You can tolerate me, I tolerate you. Not doing it in the other way around, using bullying, using whenever you hear the voice of your husband or your relation or your friend, you cannot have that joy again. That joy will just vanish. You start doing as if relationship doesn't work start. Huh? Doesn't work. So I love this topic.
Okay, thank you.
Whenever you are not, there are some guys, because of maybe your beauty or your handsomeness, you see in the other partner, you say you want to maintain that beauty. Don't want, because that person, that knowing that person may be a Casanova, into women, into doing drugs a lot. Man, the worst part of it that whenever you run into somebody that drug addict or many questionable characters, and you will see hell in that relationship. So how to manage it? And whenever you just see such a thing, you give a break and know whether that person will come to this friendship. Understand? We are not talking about ones that get married. When get married, you don't divorce. Rather, you give that person a break. If that person values you, you will come with a good repentance, with a good mind for your own life. Because this life is one thing.
Yeah.
You die in love, you are gone.
You're gone. I'm forgotten.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
are forgotten. So thank you.
Thank you for your call. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. He gave an example about domestic abuse when it comes to relationship anxiety. And then the lady that he called, and is one of the celebrities, they will just put in that way, Christian celebrity or the Christian singer, that most people they knew her. And then when she died, and it was an outcry in Nigeria, and many people were hurt because that's someone that is already in limelight, someone that touches people's life and all that,
no
just died
reason,
for no reason and all that. And then she was in that situation for a long time, but she wasn't speaking. She wasn't like letting people know what she was passing through. She had that anxiety of
and sometimes people have anxiety as well of being single the moment they leave a relationship, so they don't want to stay single, so they rather stay there and
enjoy everything that comes their way. And then
they're just afraid of being single. They're just afraid,
And that's the reason why some women, especially women, they will be in a relationship where they are being physically abused on a daily basis. They're getting the beating of their life and all that, and then they still stay in there because of the anxiety.
The anxiety of the fear of, especially married women as well with children. So the fear of having to raise children in a broken home. So that contributes as well.
Fear of being alone.
Yeah, being a single mom, and they just like rather endure the whole thing as long as it comes.
And some of them, like some of our parents, a lot of them, they went through that trauma because of that domestic abuse. And they will just say to you that it's normal. I mean, when they're telling their, maybe try to advise their daughters, they will say to them, normal, it's normal. Your husband is beating you up. It's okay. He didn't kill you. It's normal. Some men, sometimes they're angry. When they're angry, all they have to do is just close them out, stay there, if he beats you, so it's part of relationship and all that, which
Yeah,
is which is not
yeah,
is not a
actually,
good advice
yeah.
to giving someone. And some ladies, you see them, they still stay in that relationship and then taking the beating every day and having that trauma. Yes, now they having anxiety. They don't know what to do. They don't want to go out. They
The
can't even like have
self-esteem
friends.
destroyed, yeah.
Everything destroyed and all that
So it becomes
because
a
of
cycle,
anxiety.
yeah.
They have the anxiety and
Some people go into new relationship with low self-esteem that came from the past one.
yeah,
The last guy probably damaged their self-esteem. So, and also not just women have their self-esteem tarnished as well. I've had cases where a man, because the girl was always talking down on his performance in the bedroom and always cheating on him, so his self-esteem was down.
mhm.
So the moment he got into another relationship, he always had the worry that the new girl was going to leave.
That's what I'm saying. And he's looking for reassurance.
Mm.
He wants to like try their best. You see, some of them they start taking drugs.
Mm-hmm. Or cheating.
Yeah, trying to
Biggest coping mechanism is cheating.
a lot of things they start doing just to make sure maybe like they have that reassurance of the lady. At least maybe they are trying to impress someone, impress their lady or something like that. Why it's not supposed to be like
Mm-hmm.
that? Now you're not yourself anymore. You're having that anxiety. If you don't want,
I
you
mean, they're
want to,
loving you for who you're not.
no. And when you have tried to have maybe intercourse or something like that, you see there's a big problem.
Mm-hmm. No connection.
That fear will come up again. That anxiety will come up again. The past relationship, that was a problem. That was a worry. That was the reason why maybe she told you that that's the reason why she's leaving you. Now this new one, it's gonna affect you no
Yeah,
matter how
definitely.
you do
Yeah.
that. They have that so low
Automatically, yeah.
self-esteem, and it's a big problem. It's a big worry. And most times, if the guy doesn't know that he has that anxiety,
Most guys don't know.
they don't have that anxiety. There's no way, no matter no amount of alcohol they take, no amount of drugs that they take, because even if they take cocaine or take some other drugs, the first time they took it, it might be take them to how that you
Mm-hmm.
got that dopamine. Okay, they will like to take it over and
Over
over
and over,
again.
yeah.
With time, affecting their health
Obviously.
because they want to satisfy their partner. They want to like get that reassurance. They want to prove that they can do it. And that's anxiety. That's a very big
So
worry.
I saw this story today. I probably could have read it. It was this guy that him and his wife were been married for 5 years, so they never had children. So the wife was always hurting towards that him, told him that his sperms were too watery and he can't get a girl pregnant. So he went outside and got a girl pregnant to prove to his wife that
He's a man. He's man enough.
and they've been together for 5 years, and the fault was actually from the wife, but then the wife was projecting all of that to the man and huge the man's self-esteem he had to go outside and get.
And she got that anxiety. She got
Yeah.
anxiety. She got
So
relationship
she was
anxiety. And she
projecting,
was
yeah.
projecting or doing all that just to make sure that he will not find out.
Mm.
It was her. She has a problem. She already know that she has a problem. In order for her to cope, the coping mechanism for her
Yeah,
is
was
in order
just to
for her to
accuse the man,
project,
yeah.
They keep on accusing the man of that kind of. And sometimes some men, if you don't have that self-control, you start having low self-esteem.
Definitely, yeah. Naturally, yeah.
You understand? Guys, we're talking about relationship anxiety, the coping mechanism, and all that. Okay, how can you cope? In what way can you cope when you notice that you have anxiety? What way can you cope?
The first thing is that like, if you have a relationship, if you have anxiety in yourself, it won't really ruin relationship that you have with the right person. If you have anxiety with yourself and and you get together with a person that really genuinely loves you and they understands that you have anxiety probably from what you've had in the past, I think it wouldn't really end things unless you're with a person that isn't really your person. But if you have anxiety yourself and you're always, the first thing you need to do is to work on your self esteem because 80% of anxiety in the relationship comes from low self esteem. Yeah,
But-
you need to up your game.
Yeah, but when you realize that you have anxiety, okay,
Yeah, that's always a source. There's always a yes. Either you feel less, you can't perform in the bedroom, or you feel you don't look good enough, or you feel you don't have enough money, so you just need to upgrade yourself.
So how can you cope? In what way can you cope?
Just
The
upgrade, just
mechanism.
upgrade yourself. Yeah,
The,
work on your self-esteem. You get busy working on your self-esteem. Get busy working on things that is taking your self-esteem down, because you cannot have a low self-esteem without a reason.
can you have this dialogue with your partner? Can you communicate with your partner? Let them understand this is the reason why maybe you are this is going on, if they can help you out. Because most times, you cannot do it alone. When you realize that you have anxiety,
It depends on how helpful and how, yeah,
understand it.
yeah, the partner can be, because sometimes the partner don't even know what you're talking about. They've not experienced that before.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Because
depending on how mentally mature the partner is.
that's what I'm saying. But sometimes you can have that conversation,
Hmm.
communicate with the partner. This is what you experiencing about that. Understand that's the reason why you behaving the way you're behaving. If he or she is on understandable type, or someone that can like you, want to work with you,
Hmm.
they will understand. They will help you out to heal. Because if you don't heal, no matter what you do, there's no way you're gonna
Definitely
cope.
going to terminate the relationship.
There's no
Yeah.
way you're gonna cope. Okay. Then I read somewhere where someone was saying that you need to reflect on yourself.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. You need to find out the cause of the low self-esteem, because relationship anxiety, 80% of the time comes from low self-esteem, and you cannot have low self-esteem without a reason. Either you're not feeling secure, you feel insecure about your height, or you feel insecure about your performance in the bedroom, or you feel insecure about yeah, your endowment, or you feel insecure about how you look. So yeah, those things, you cannot have low self-esteem without a reason.
There's always a reason.
Yeah, when I was a lot younger, I had low self-esteem because I felt I was less than the other guy, so I felt less. So that made me a little bit antisocial because I felt less. So you cannot have low self-esteem without a reason. It's impossible.
But if you notice that you have low
Yeah, you just
self-esteem,
work on yourself. Yeah,
that's the at least that's the first step.
yeah, work
Then you
on
start
your,
working on
yeah.
yourself.
Find where you feel less secure and start working on it.
Something that you're good at.
No,
Then you
where you
work on it,
feel
isn't
less
it?
secure,
Mm.
where you feel less secure and start working on it.
And the work
Yeah,
on it.
if you, let's say for example, if you are a short person
Uh-huh.
and you've always been left because you're short, you just have to accept it and look for a person that likes short men.
It is I'm saying, you know your qualities,
Yeah,
something
definitely.
things
Yeah.
that you are comfortable of, things that you have confidence in doing. Then you use that as a mechanism to
Mm-hmm.
cope with it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Some people you see that they might have all the qualities and everything that you're looking for, but because they are not they cannot communicate right. They
Yeah,
cannot communicate
but
right.
they've not really accepted themselves.
So because of that, the way they cannot communicate right, based on maybe the dialect, because they are too much with their dialect and all
Mhm.
that. You see that when they come in around people, or maybe they see a lady that they love, or a lady that they want to chat or something like that, they cannot. You see that they cannot express themselves, and they start feeling that they are inadequate, uh, having that anxiety,
Yeah,
having
low self-esteem. Yeah.
anxiety. They don't want to go out no more, like what you said.
Mhm.
They they don't want to approach any woman because it's become a handicap. They are worried because they feel that when they open their mouth to talk,
Yeah, fear of
they will
rejection.
just, do you
Yeah.
understand what I mean? They're going to mess up or something like that. And they become a worry and become an anxiety. They have that. Understand? But if they realize that yes, this is their problem, they start working on themselves, maybe try other beings.
Yeah,
How they
working
can
on
cope with it.
self-confidence. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's great. All right, guys, we're still on relationship anxiety. Okay, at the beginning, we expressed what anxiety is. We talked about when you relationship anxiety, we refer to feelings of worry or fear that can arise in a romantic relationship. Any maybe romantic relationships, like what he was saying, that is only mostly people that fall in love. You fell in love with someone, and then all these anxieties will start coming up. The worry will start coming up. Worry of fear of abandonment,
Mhm.
worry of concerns of maybe relationship future. This person might have to leave you or something like that. Worry about maybe
The
your
past coming,
past
yeah.
experiences and all that. It might reflect again. It's either maybe you were cheated upon when you had the last relationship, then you feeling that this person you're in a relationship with will do the same thing
Automatically will
again.
do the same
You
thing. Yeah.
understand? So those things bring that anxiety and they bring the worry, that relationship. Understand? So, but we're talking about the coping. How can you cope when you realize that you have anxiety? And we are looking at so many things. We talked about self-reflection. You have to look at yourself, find out the reason why it happens to you. Either maybe low self-esteem, you having that issue. So that's why. Okay, but in a relationship, when you have you and your partner now, you notice that they just put it that way. Okay, as a man, you're in a relationship and you find out that your partner, your wife or your girlfriend, she is always having that what do you call it, continuous anxiety. You're always having the anxious. They are always anxious whenever you're going out, or they're anxious whenever you're on the phone with someone. They're anxious with everyone. Maybe you can't leave your phone without them, like touching your phone. All those
Probably
things.
have a
How can you
conversation,
cope
and
with-
if they're
how can you
probably
cope
gonna
with
have a
that?
conversation, and if they're not willing to change, just leave the relationship, because it's probably gonna mess up your mental health.
But you're having a conversation. What are you going to talk about?
Yeah, you probably set standards and communicate your concerns and tell your partner that this is affecting the relationship. Now, if someone is being defensive over what they're doing, then it's a pathway to hell. But then if the partner is being humble and apologetic about the whole thing, and being understanding that they are the cause of what's going on in the relationship, and then try to still work on themselves, then that would help. But then if they are being defensive, then that's probably going to be the end of the relationship, because then the longer you stay there, the longer it messes up your mental health.
You're having that issue.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a very big problem.
Yeah, it's probably going to transfer to you, because
You
it's
start
so
having anxiety. You
contagious.
start having anxiety
It's
straight
so
away.
contagious. Yeah,
Crazy. Start having anxiety big time. Because when you communicate, the issue is that when you even communicate with someone, if they don't understand where you're coming from, that's a big worry. When you're telling someone that, listen, the way you're behaving all the time, you're tracking me, you're calling my phone, you're dragging my phone.
No, it's gonna get you crazy if you don't stop it.
Well, they need to stop, and they don't.
Your partner is gonna go crazy.
They don't know. They don't even want to listen to you. They don't want to
No, it's probably best to leave them.
They need to get out of that relationship. That's deep. Okay, that's very big. But in most African countries and in most African homes, there's something that I noticed that many of us don't like doing. I know my people maybe they will have to agree with me, or some might not. We hardly seek help.
No, therapy. Yes. Yeah, I think therapy is
African culture. I don't know why it's like that. Then they hardly seek help.
Yeah, especially
therapy,
most men don't believe they need therapy now.
I don't know. It's only maybe most times the only time you hear someone saying that I'm going for counseling is when they're going to the church.
Yeah,
because
I remember I was having a conversation with a group of family members yesterday, and one of them told me and said, "You need therapy." Over that issue, I didn't believe I needed therapy. I don't believe I needed to see anyone. So I think it's more men thing. African men or black men generally don't believe they need therapy.
I don't know why
but most of them do.
It's a worry, man. Serious, because I hardly hear someone say to I'm going for counseling, or I'm going for therapy or something like that. The only time, like I said to you, the only time I will hear something like that is either they see them, they're going to church or counseling because they want to get married, and it's someone, maybe the pastor forced them to do that. You have to go for a class or sessions before they will allow you to get married, and that's the reason why they're going for that counseling. It's not that they're going to that counseling
because they want free will
or they got cancelled or something. It's just because they were forced to do that, and I don't know why it's like that. And when you tell someone that you're going for therapy, and they'll be looking looking like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, they think you're insane or something.
You understand what I'm saying? And this is a very big worry. It's a very big worry when it comes to African community. I don't know why it's like that. I don't really understand why it's like that, because when you talk about anxiety, relationship anxiety, many people you would say to you now that they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
They never hear what is relationship anxiety. Maybe it might be the first time they're hearing that someone have
I
relationship
think it's
anxiety
most
and all that.
most people that admit they have anxiety that usually I've seen more of women admit that they have anxiety than men. Men
Women,
don't admit that they have relationship anxiety.
no, women talk to themselves all the time. They talk to themselves all the time. Whenever you see a woman, they got their phone on the phone, they're calling their friends, they're chatting up with their friends. If a woman now, for example, she got a new boyfriend, all her friends will
Yeah,
know.
we know.
She will call her friends and tell her friends, I got this guy, blah, blah, blah. You know the first thing they will ask her? What does he do?
Mm-hmm.
What car does he drive? All those kind of, they always chat. They always talk about. If they go out and they got hurt or the person misbehaved outside or they went on a date or some, they will tell their friends everything. But men don't do that.
Yeah.
We hardly do that. Men don't do that. And that's the reason why you see many men, some of them, they rather die in silence than
Then
speaking
actually
out.
seek help.
The only
Yeah.
time they may be like, he's either maybe he's holding them here,
Mhm.
they're almost dying. That's when maybe someone just like, they don't know what else to do. They just tell you something. You understand? And that is a big problem. So going for therapy, counseling, you know that you have anxiety, you have issue, got trauma that you need to deal with.
And understanding
They
so
don't
that
do
if it is not dealt with, it's gonna keep affecting you for as long as possible.
They don't do that. African men don't do that. And it's a big problem. They don't do that. And I don't know how, because, and that's the reason why you see that in university, you hardly see people, a lot of them telling you that they are studying therapy, psychology, or all those kind of things, unless maybe
Counseling, yeah.
they just want to, maybe their catchment, or they didn't get the courses that they wanted to do, they didn't get the mark, so they don't have no option just to get that psychology.
Yeah, or if
They
it
don't
is
have to
here,
get
they
You
want to
understand what I
get loan from the
You
government.
understand what I mean? So
Mhm.
other than that, they will not go to study that. And because of what? Even if you study such things, you won't have an office for therapy, you have office for counseling. Nobody's gonna come to your office. Majority of people they're gonna see that is all the most people that want to get married, or some of these posh people that say to yourself, okay, yeah, they've been abroad or they've gone out there, they know what we're talking about. For example, they got experiences about all these things we are talking about now. They can go for counseling. Or proper African home.
I think it's a black thing, not
They
really
don't do
African.
that.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm just talking about African homes. They don't really talk about therapy. Okay, if you have any issue,
Inexistent, yeah.
if you have any issue now, you have any issues in your relationship, then maybe you say to yourself, okay, you want to open up to maybe to an elderly person, or maybe your parents, they find out this is what is happening. They hardly will tell you to go for therapy. They will never advise
No one
you.
even considers that. No.
They will never advise you go for therapy, go for counseling. Can two of you go for counseling? No. They want to resolve it. They want to bring other people to resolve it. Do you understand what I mean?
Mhm.
They make it to become a problem, but it's not in their. I don't even understand. It's not in their hands to do that, because sometimes you need help. You need professional help. People that knows what is happening in that relationship. People that already they will give you time, two of you time to talk about your worries, your fears. Then they will know where to come in. Because in most cases, if it's your friend, that is one the mediator, is one in the middle that want to listen to you guys' problem or something, and then what do you think is going to happen? They will
Probably gonna side you.
They will
Yeah.
decide for you and all that. There's no way they're going to betray their friend. You understand? If it's your parents, the same way. They will side with their son or their daughter. But when you go for professional help,
Yeah, so impartial.
it's a
Yeah,
neutral.
I've
It's a
kinda watched
neutral
a
ground.
few of the
They
sessions.
will
Yeah.
listen to all the sessions. They will tell you what to do. They will advise you guys what to do. They will tell you that you are the problem. They will tell you the person that everything that you need to do in that relationship. And many people don't do that, and that's a problem in African community, African home, especially the men.
90% the men.
Problem, guys. We're talking about anxiety, relationship anxiety. A lot of people are experiencing it, but they don't know that that is what is going on in the relationship. In most cases, they don't even know that they are the problem, because when you have an anxiety inside of you and you don't know that you have an anxiety inside of you,
You project
You
it without
project it to
knowing.
the other
Yeah,
person. You project it to your
it
family.
affects everything.
It
Yeah,
affects your partner. You go into life every time you're like causing problem. You're causing issues. You're making them cry all the time. You're making them cry all the time. You're making, I don't know. It's a big worry. It's a very, very big worry. Okay. And then when you don't really know about a professional help, what other way can you help yourself? You need to, because when you go through, when you seek professional help, they will tell you that you need to educate yourself. They will tell you books to read. They will tell you what to do. They might even recommend some books that you need to read on yourself, to work on yourself.
yeah, and yeah.
If you got some books to read,
At least sometimes you just need something else to get your mind off the relationship. Yeah, that's what helps in relationship anxieties. Yeah.
Because when you said that you need to work on yourself, there are a lot of books out there to help you work on yourself. There are a lot of books that people there most of the times, because you don't really go into that field. But when you seek professional help, those counselors or therapists will tell you, okay, listen, get this book, get this book, get this book. And when you read one or two books,
you're set for
your
life.
your eyes will open. Then you know that yes, you are the problem. That you have issues, you have that worries. Then you start noticing where the whole worry started. What happened? Is either maybe your past relationship, your girlfriend messed about, or maybe your parents or something, you know what is the problem. Then you start from there, start to heal. Start working on yourself in order to keep yourself right. Because if you're not right, it will affect your partner. Definitely. Because you cannot cope. If you cannot handle yourself,
definitely it's probably gonna pass on to the next person. Yeah,
it's gonna affect your partner, and that's a big problem. Understand? Guys, we are probably going to come into the end of the segment, end of the podcast. Okay, so I don't know. In conclusion, what do you think? Maybe what advice you're going to tell someone that you said? Okay,
if you have constant relationship anxiety, get something that will take your mind off the relationship. Yeah, if you have something worrying you in the relationship, either you're afraid that the man is going to leave you, just get something else that would take your mind away from it.
Something like what?
Yeah, either probably, get something that excites you. Find activities that excites you.
It's like a hobby or something that
you're
interested in.
Yeah, that just gets your mind away from the relationship. Yeah.
Okay. If for example, if you said something, you mentioned low self-esteem. If someone have low self-esteem, that
start working in yourself. Because
start working on yourself.
The thing is that the more you do those things that make you happy, you give out a more better energy in the relationship, and that helps you to last longer in the relationship. The more you dwell in anxiety, you give off negative energy.
It's gonna affect your partner, definitely. It's still gonna affect you because you're not going to enjoy that relationship. Okay. All right, guys, that's where we're gonna stop. Okay. So, like I was trying to explain here, no matter what, nobody's above mistake. The more that you learn, the more you understand yourself. You understand? So we're talking about self improvement.
Yeah.
Okay, improve yourself. Read books. If your relationship are getting to the stage where you've done everything that you think that you've done, you seek all the whole things that you've done everything. Okay, that at least to help that relationship move forward. That it's not going anywhere. It's still having issues. Seek professional help. Seek professional help. Some people, they're afraid of spending money. They'll be thinking that a section is very expensive. Spending that money just to go for one session or one, because therapists they will charge you money.
Yeah,
right?
They're quite expensive.
Yeah, do you understand what I mean? But 2 or 3 sessions might save your relationship at long run, and that money you see that there is a money well spent. You spend the money, because a lot of people, they spend even more than that with their friends when they are drinking, buying drinks, alcohol, and all that. They spend a lot of money, which maybe 1 or 2 sessions could have helped. You understand? So seek a professional help, and just believe that everything will be all right. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you guys for staying with us to this time. I appreciate you guys. Okay. Sorry, like I apologize at the beginning that we started late. And I hope that maybe might not happen again next time. It's just the technical issues, and sometimes you know how it is. Okay, when you come to technology, in most cases, they can leave it behind sometimes, but
Definitely.
you have to face it and just really. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank
I'll
you.
see you on
Thank
next
you
week
guys.
Friday.
See you next week.
God bless.